Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello and good evening to everyone. My name is AJ Dean. I am your co-host at NinonSpeaks Media Image, and it's my great honor to introduce the award-winning international spokesperson, Ninon de Rosa. Hello, Ninon.
What an incredible introduction that is. Hello, AJ. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
You know, before we go any further, I would like to thank Georgette Dente, because Georgette has been such an inspiration with this show. This is a fairly new show. And of course, AJ is been 100% behind it. But Georgette has been absolutely amazing. And it's just, it's incredible to have somebody or have people like that behind you when you're doing something, because normally most people sort of get jealous or they can't be bothered or whatever.
Dixie Dooley, who is a master illusionist and mystifier, and he met Michael Jackson actually, and he has worked for the greats. He's got something about Houdini he wants to mention. He even performed for the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And we also have Zamora, the Torture King. He's going to do a very special and unusual performance that has never been done before on your show, Ninon. And
Hey, wait a second, you're missing out one thing. Who's the woofie? There's a woofie there.
This is Gracie, the Wonder Dog. It's her first appearance on NinonSpeaks. And we also have Mary Hida from the Women's Federation of Peace with a message of hope and empowerment.
Oh, well, we definitely need you. We definitely need you, Mary. That's for sure. Well, what a wonderful group we have together. You're all looking absolutely wonderful. Zamora is the one with glasses. Which one is Zamora?
The one with Gracie.
Gracie. Okay. Well, how are you all?
Great.
Mary, how are you doing?
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
You know, you have, I'm sure you've been told this before, but you have a beautiful smile. You have a smile that actually reflects and brings somebody into you. You've got like, you're very interested in them and you want to know, and probably that's true because you're all about peace, right?
Yes, that's true, yeah.
Okay, and let's go over to these two famous looking men here. I love the glasses.
Yes, that's Dixie Dooley.
Is that Dixie? Is that? Oh, well, Dixie Dooley just vanished. I don't know where Dixie Dooley went, but Dixie Dooley disappeared. Well, he'll be back, I assume. He fiddling with the other guy next to him was fiddling with something, so don't worry. But Mary, oh Mary, do you have something on your hands with this peace thing? I mean, there's no peace anywhere. The whole world is in an uproar. What do we do?
Oh, what do we do? We come together,
huh?
Because most of us want peace anyway.
Yes.
So we come together and work together,
Okay.
mainly.
So what is your organization, Mary?
Well, I can tell you a little bit by telling you what the vision is.
Yes, please.
The vision is working women working together to establish a culture of heart in the family, genuine and sustainable peace, empowering women with knowledge, skills, and supportive community to discover their unique value and lasting peace. So, what is our organization? It's worldwide.
Are you worldwide?
We're very worldwide. Yes, we're in just about every country in the world.
So you and COVID-19 are worldwide.
Yes, we were that. We already worked that way before. Our organization started in 1992 with a great vision.
Yes.
By our founder, who we call the Mother of Peace, Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon. She's actually written a book, Mother of Peace. And if you want to find out about this book, Mother of Peace book.com.
Motherofpeacebook.com. So don't forget to register for that book, and maybe you can buy this book. be a great time, Mary, for everybody to actually read that book, because I think
Yes.
we're all looking for peace, tranquility, and everything else. I'm going to go over to Dixie Dooley because I want a little magic, little stuff going on here. Dixie Dooley, how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm very well. What's the name of your woofie?
My little Jack Russell is Gracie Rose.
Gracie Roosevelt. That's funny because my mother wanted to name me Gracie. She wanted to name me Grace instead of Ninon, but I got stuck with Ninon and not Grace. So many times I call myself Grace because Ninon is complicated. So your dog and I have something in common.
She's my baby.
Oh, your baby. Well, Jack Russells are very good dogs, actually, aren't they?
They're very smart. Her granddad was famous. He was in movies.
Oh, really? What movies?
If you ever see some of the old circus movies where you see a dog that would do a backwards flip, you may have seen it in documentaries and all on the circus. That's her granddad. His name was Flip.
Oh, hell yeah, and he flipped all right, right?
Yeah.
He was a flipper.
And I use her in the show, and she's very smart. She's probably, I guess, the smartest dog I've ever used in my magic show.
Why do you like to bring dogs into your show? Because I think that's fascinating. I like that.
I don't really like to. It's just that I get tired of leaving her at home and having to go to shows, and she loves it so much. She loves the people. She loves the response, and she goes, she'll be like, let's go do it again. Let's go do it again. She's very into it. She loves it. She's got one trick, and I'll say, do your trick, and she'll run right over to it and get ready to do it, and she's perfect.
How fabulous. So you're never alone, are you?
Never alone. No, not when you have your babies with you.
Now, Zamora is next to you, and he is you're the torture king.
They call me the torture king. That's a traditional name for the type of sideshow performer doing a pain control act. Things like laying on a bed of nails and walking on broken glass, things like that.
Oh, how lovely. I've always dreamt of doing that.
Thank you. The whole point is that you're overcoming the pain and the injury.
Yeah, that's like walking on coals, isn't it?
Yes,
I've been that close to walking on coals, and I don't know if I chickened out or what. I probably chickened out, and it is mind over matter, isn't it? Actually.
Yes, there's a lot of your state of mind is involved in that. I got to ask you, if you're doing a fire walk, was it in one of these kind of seminars, or I don't know what to call it, but they were sort of doing these in the 80s or so, where you would do a kind of a mental preparation, and at the end of it, you would a big group would walk over a fire.
What remarks have you had from people over that? Because they've got to look at you and see you do this, and it's not a normal thing to do, but it's a gutsy thing to do, I mean, really.
Kind of. The whole point, however, is like, it's kind of shocking, but it's like fun at the same time. It's kind of like a horror movie or going on a roller coaster. There's this kind of like visceral reaction to it, but it's something that people kind of can relate to. And, or it's because not everybody is doing it because it's normal. That's the whole point of it,
I think Zamora has a special trick that he would like to do. Zamora, take it away.
If you'd like me to show you something,
you got a trick. For us. Hey, Mary, watch the trick.
Well, I can show you. We've got a light bulb. Usually we've got a light bulb done with it.
Yeah, there's a light bulb.
I can use it, however. Got just to hold the glass here.
Okay.
And try to do this all on camera here. We're going to put it on a surface.
I'll hold this for you.
So it's never going to go off. You see, this is the bulb. We're going to take the handle here.
Right,
break it into shards.
Oh my.
And we can show
the bulb breaker. A bulb. I mean, sure I said that the right way.
And put that down now, and you can see the shards. It's got, I've got to be careful. I've got to be, got some stuff on the inside. Now I think I've done something, but it's got some powder, and I got to think about my health before I do this. I want to wipe that powder off. not quite sure what it is. Some people tell me.
What is the powder? It could be something, it could be devastating for your body.
That's right, but I've got to think about my health when I do.
To keep up with your hands, because your hands you usually put on your face or in your mouth or whatever the case may be.
But
you better be careful. Oh, what? Oh, more.
Literally a light snack.
Oh my gosh. Oh my stars. Wow. Wow.
Oh. Mary, it's okay. Hang in there.
Okay.
Oh.
Now you're going to swallow it down, huh? Okay.
Oh, goes all the way down?
He's probably got a bulb. He's probably got a bulb down here or something. I mean.
Wow.
Dixie, Dooley, have you seen this before?
Actually, I want some. He says.
Well, I've got news for you. I don't want any.
Nothing in the mouth.
I don't want it.
All the way to the stomach and to points beyond.
Oh my goodness.
Broken glass. Come on, my throat here still. I gotta watch that now.
Zamora has just had dinner. Okay.
Well, and Dixie, how about you?
Is that the end of it?
What about me? I'll show you something called the Egyptian water box.
Yeah, show me something.
The
Mary,
Egyptian water box. Okay.
Mary, can you do any tricks?
This is it. Okay. And this you can look at really close, and it can examine. You can look right through there. You see anything in there?
Yeah, I can see you.
I'm going to take some more.
You gotta keep it in camera here.
Zamora's glass of water here. I'm going to pour it in there just like so. And
wow,
disappear.
So the water vanished.
Yeah.
Unless you're sitting on a wet patch.
Only two.
Wow.
Here in the glass.
Okay.
It's an illusion.
You know, I just love magic. I think magic is so fascinating and intriguing, and you know, it gets your brain. You start thinking, how do they do that? And you know, how much time does it take? Or both of you, this question is at to learn these tricks and to do these tricks.
Well, it just depends on what illusion or what effect you're doing, how long it takes, and how much time it takes to eat a light bulb. I imagine it takes a lot more time than to learn the Egyptian water box. So I can teach you the water box in about 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah, whereas the light bulb is something different.
I'll tell you, when I first began to do this, it was pretty much a lost art.
Yeah.
Something that I'd only read about in books, and I had never seen anybody doing it in real life. Maybe some old films had shown some of these people doing these acts. The information was really hard to find. And I was part of a show that began in the very early 90s in Seattle. It kind of revived the old sideshow arts and put them in rock and roll kind of venues, like places where rock bands would normally play, and eventually got performing on rock festivals.
Yeah.
So it took a long time to figure out, get the old kind of lost arts to find out, and in fact, some of the stuff written about how it's done is completely wrong. And the problem with what I do, if you do it wrong, you get hurt, you know?
Of course. Yeah,
there's a very fine margin of error. If you do this right, you just got to be careful, whatever the case. If you do it wrong, you know, there's hospital bills involved. So kind of self-correcting in some ways.
Some of it's like the art of escapology when it comes to magic, you know.
Yeah.
Like learning to do the upside down straight jacket, things like that. Like I'm the only one that's done the upside down straight jacket like 4 times here in Las Vegas, including in front of the Las Vegas Plaza hotel where I had my Houdini show years ago. And so when you learn things like that, escaping from handcuffs, straight jackets and all that, it's kind of along those lines, as long as you're doing it legitimately and not using fake handcuffs or fake.
You're like a contortionist.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting yourself wrapped up in, you hate to say it, but my sister was like that quite naturally. She would get herself twisted in all sorts of crazy things. And we used to sort of say to her, how did you do that? And she used to do sort of things like that, but hers was like rather sort of natural. Yeah. Now, let's just go over to Mary a second. Mary, what do you think of all this? You're going to change your job now and become a magician?
I've got my good friend Georgette. You know, she's kind of opened me up to all kinds of things because she's
well, Georgette is
an entertainer her whole life.
Yeah.
Just the sweetest lady. She works a lot with us at Women's Federation. She always attends our events, and she offers her time and effort, you know, for different things. She's just an amazing
But with
person.
your peace movement right now, are you concentrating a little on the COVID side of trying to help people? Because you're in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Okay, because there's a lot of homeless people here. There's a lot of people on the streets. There's a lot of people, yes, and especially the younger generation that live under the tunnels. They live in the tunnels and they live under the freeways. Now, they used to go to school and get their lunch and their breakfast and their lunch, and then they would have something to take home with them. Mm-hmm. Now they don't have that. What do you do anything about that? Do you help them?
We haven't done a lot during this COVID time because a lot of us are actually trying to stay home and not do too many you know, things outside. But we do a lot of educational programs, and we have done quite a few seminars online, and we had you know, we do a lot through Zoom and things like that. I think we will be involved with the homeless shelters and things like that a little bit more.
Especially the teenagers and the young people that they don't even have a mom and dad to go to. So
you are so right. You're so right. So our heart does go in that direction, and education and helping out in different ways is definitely where our heart is. Definitely.
Yeah, it's so fun. I'm looking at the show that we're doing today, and we've got you with the peace and helping and everything else, and then we've got Dixie, Dooley, and Zamora. And
I love Gracie's dress. What do you think of Gracie?
Gracie's got her pink on. I mean, excuse me. Look,
she dressed up just for you.
I love it. I think it's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? AJ, you're looking at these two gentlemen that are doing all these magic tricks and everything else. Amazing. This is what we need, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I love these two guys here. They're absolutely wonderful, and what they represent. They love magic and inspiring and giving hope to people, which is what your heart is all about, Ninon. And I think Dixie has something you wanted to mention about Houdini. Is that right, Dixie?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get some Houdini going.
I'm one of the, I own one of the world's most unique collections of Houdini memorabilia. And this is a printing plate that came from his home in New York City, and it belonged to Houdini personally. Wow. And he printed flyers around 1912 with it. And it's part of my collection. I'll show you here the actual flyer that it printed so you can see it.
All right, Gracie.
There you go.
Oh,
just
look
a flyer
at that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a very collectible. And
it's funny, I see the name Harry Houdini. We always say Houdini. Now, doesn't Houdini have a lot of stuff at the Magic Castle in Los Angeles?
Well, actually, I'm friends with the owner. You know, Milt Larson and Bill Larson actually started the Magic Castle, and his dad was the attorney for Bess Houdini. And that's how they have the connection there with the Houdinis and all for years. I've been friends with the immediate family of Houdini. Marie Blood was a dear friend of mine for years and told me all kinds of stories because she used to live in the house in New York in the summertime with Houdini. When she was a little girl, and he used to take her by the hand to the theater, and she'd sit in the back, and he'd call her up during the intermission onto stage, and she'd get a big round of applause. And he told me all kinds of unique stories, and it's very interesting to hear it from the horse's mouth from someone who was actually there.
And also to have somebody like that, you know, there's always somebody very famous, and I'm gonna like a Michael Jackson, the greatest singer probably in the world. I'm quoting from somebody else that said that, but I've also...
Well, I performed for him right before he passed away. I did Prince Michael's 7th birthday at his house here with all of his little children and all, and got to know Michael, spent the whole day with him, and he was a great guy. He loved magic. He really loved magic, and I was going to sneak him over to the house to see some of the Houdini stuff late night when no one would bother him or whatever, and it never happened because he passed away, unfortunately.
Wow, what a memory of him that you performed for him. That's amazing. I don't know why.
Oh, it was surreal sitting there listening to his voice as he commented. I do a magic trick, he'd go, "Oh, that's really cool. I really like that." You know, and to hear this voice that you've heard on record all your life, you know, and to hear it in person was.
I was going to say, to actually be in front of him and listen to him, what an honor. You've had an amazing life. Well, both of you have had amazing life. How are you coping with right now? Are you doing your shows online or offline? Like Mary is doing a lot of her stuff online. And so are you doing the same thing?
Well, I was doing up to 378 shows a year. And that's a lot of shows between my theater at the Royal Resort, the Majestic Theater, and the other theater at my magic shop there at the Boulevard Mall. And that all got into a halt because right now you can't do shows. So I'm coping with it pretty good because I've used my time wisely. I'm a writer. I write, and I'm writing a new thing called Time Travel, which takes you back in time. We just recently got back from Tombstone, Arizona, where they had the gunfight at the OK Corral and all that. And I'm wearing my gunfight shirt right now. But anyhow, we went down there. And so I'm writing about all these things, including my visit to Houdini's house and Marilyn's grave, which we were on last time at Marilyn's grave, remember?
Yes.
Yeah. And so different stories like that. I'm using my time to write. The magic shop is open every day, and just spending my time doing catching up on all the things that I always wanted to do, but I was too busy because I was doing shows.
You're right. This is a great time for catch-up time, so let's not waste our time. Zamora, what about you? How are you coping with everything? Are you coping with the dog, Grace? Goodbye, Grace.
Yes, she saw something. Oh yes, she's got herself a pillow over there. Going to attack her. She I actually did perform in the Halloween season at Knott's Farm.
Yes.
Really?
Gracie doesn't want you to hear about it though. But, it was did an event which was different than their normal event, and it had a lot of restrictions about what could be done. And it was the Taste of Halloween at Knott's Farm in Southern California, Orange County.
Yeah.
And I worked there. It was supposed to, it got bigger and bigger. It was supposed to be just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they sold out, and then they added more days, and they sold out those, and they added more days. So in October, I had not performed at Knott's Farm. I used to be a regular there for the Halloween haunt.
Yeah.
And they changed a lot of things, and I hadn't been there for at least 5 years. And then out of the blue, at the time I least expected to get called back to Knott's Farm, I get a phone call and end up somehow performing, though in a different manner than normal, at Knott's Farm for Halloween, and one of the few people who did. Knott's Farm is still, I think they have a Christmas thing happening, and it's very different than their normal events.
You're talking about the Halloween that just passed?
Yes, the Halloween that just passed.
You even got a job, but you even got that and even doing that, because...
Yeah.
Yes,
Gracie, she commented on it.
Yeah, she likes the idea of it. You know, she likes
I'm one of the few people. Usually, people work a lot in these kind of Halloween theme parks, but I'm one of the few people who had a gig for Halloween theme park this year, which was really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.